should be up and running now. But we are back from Wisconsin with, once again, more snow. Third stream in 7 days. But I honestly don't... hold on a minute in case a couple more people join right off the bat. Howdy, Kay. How are you doing today? Give me just a second. I gotta mute for a minute. Alright, so we are back in Wisconsin with more snow for the third time in 7 days. We've had stream-worthy snow event.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Wisconsin 49 North.
Yeah, thanks Google Maps, but I'm not listening to you right now. We went from about 10 minutes ago, there was no snow on the road and traffic was perfectly clear, to right now we've got blowing and drifting snow onto the road with travel conditions going downhill quite rapidly. Based on radar right now, this is some of the heaviest snow pockets that I have seen. I think this is the heaviest snow pocket I've seen in the past 3 chases, so it's definitely some pretty substantial snowfall, and already it's starting to get a little slick right here. But in all honesty, I have no idea what to expect from this stream. It could be 3 hours, it could be 10 hours, who knows, because the snow is supposed to kind of come in bands as the evening progresses and into the overnight hours. But nice. Guess there's not enough snow on the windshield to make the wipers glide nice and smooth. But it's kind of hard to see on the camera right now, but it definitely is snowing fairly substantially. As I was driving to this area, I noticed that I was looking at some of the flag poles and the flags was out pretty much all the way, so I'd guess we'd probably got 20-ish mile per hour wind gusts at the moment, or a little bit earlier. And based off of how light and fluffy the snow is, it will be able to blow around very easily and possibly drift on the roads once there's more snow, and reduce visibilities quite rapidly. just going to continue west for a little bit in this general area. This is where the heaviest snow bands are at the moment. And then we will probably eventually head back east and kind of follow this band, because it'll definitely have more complications on traffic issues as it enters more populated areas such as like Oshkosh. We're not too far from Oshkosh, so that could get interesting. Welcome to everyone who has made it. Glad that you could be here. As the oncoming cars get closer, you can definitely see the snow in the headlights. The camera picks it up better then. Right now we just have pretty much walls of fluffy snow that we're driving through at the moment. This being the first band of snow that's coming through, this is helping weed out all of the dry air that's still up in the atmosphere. So it's hydrating the atmosphere since it's the first round. So any snow bands that's set up later tonight will not have that issue, so they'll be able to produce more accumulating snow more efficiently. Like I was driving through some areas on radar that said that there should be, slight amount of snow falling, and there was nothing making it to the ground because it was all getting absorbed into the atmosphere before it hit the ground. Probably going to head to Red Granite and then kind of make a decision from there if we want to just head back east towards Oshkosh or what. Like I said, I don't know if this will be a short stream or an extremely long stream. I have a feeling it'll probably be one of the two and not a whole lot of middle ground. I'm leaning towards it'll probably not be a super short stream. I have a gut feeling that this will be a fairly substantial, or at least have portions of it that'll be substantial enough to keep streaming for. Holy cow, the snowflakes have gotten way bigger just even in the past 3 minutes. The snowflakes are probably 3 times bigger than they were just a couple minutes ago. And with a light, fluffy snow like this that comes down so quickly, it's super hard for all the plows to keep up because it'll just cover back over or drift over from the fields or whatnot. So I expect road conditions to just deteriorate as the evening progresses. Given the low light conditions out here, you can't see the snowflakes as well. I can see that the camera's picking it up. It's just not doing it justice for what's actually coming down right now. Entering Red Granite. For anyone who's familiar with the area and knows where that is. Yeah, this will probably be the last snow chase for a little bit because, as you guys are talking about, the temperatures are just going to absolutely plummet. And with it being that cold, it definitely does not favor snow production when it's that cold. There we go. Let's see if we can clean off the windshield a little bit now that we have some street lights. You might be able to see the snow a little bit better and just how much is coming down. Area. We're gonna turn right here. Oh, towards the Red Granite Correctional Institution. Well, guess that means no picking up hitchhikers. Now you can see just how much the snow is coming down. This is a very small town, so I'm not surprised by the lack of traffic. It's it's only got a population of about 2,000, according to the sign when I entered. We'll continue this way, I guess. Snow is absolutely dumping right now. Trying to make sure I stay on the road, be less than ideal. There are a lot of trees on both sides of the road, which is interfering with the signal right now. I definitely think that we'll need to start heading back east. Yeah, so we'll follow this and we'll go see what may or may not happen over in Oshkosh with this snow as it moves in. Definitely say that this is the heaviest band of snow I've been in for the past week. So that's saying something, given that this is the only event of the three that does not have any winter storm warnings on it. Yep, absolutely. We're engaging hyperdrive. Depends on how it looks tomorrow and whether I'll do any more chasing or not. Based on radar, it hasn't been snowing here for very long, and I'd say it's probably been snowing for about a half hour. And given the amount of snow, I'd say we probably have about half inch of snow on the road right now. Oh, yep. There's our turn. probably have about a half inch of snow on the road right now. So we've probably got about an inch per hour snowfall rates right now. This is definitely substantial snowfall at the moment. It'll definitely be interesting to see what it'll look like when we get back over to Oshkosh and the snow is hitting a more populated area, because that could be slightly entertaining. Nothing that I can see far enough down the road to compare to for visibility, because I can't see far enough to see how far I can see. Ironic, isn't it? Given just how poor the visibility is right now, I did just flip on a couple extra front-facing lights just so people know I'm here if they're coming towards me. Tight corner, take it 15 miles per hour. I think we'll probably take it at like 5. It's gotten just warm enough over the past 2 days to just barely melt some of the snow off of the vehicle that was all packed up and frozen on the hood, the bumper, all that fun stuff. and then it got just enough to melt it barely, and then it just went all ice. So I just had like a complete layer of ice on the outside of the whole vehicle. When I put it in reverse, I have a reverse camera, and I was like, oh, it's kind of blurry, so I was going to just go wipe it off, and then I realized, no, all of the snow from the tailgate had went down and melted and then refroze. So I had about a half inch of ice in front of the backup camera lens. But I went out there and I chipped it off, and I chipped off some of the other ice on the back of the vehicle earlier today, so our next turn. Oh, this one says 10 miles an hour, so we'll probably take this one at like 3. Oh, I'm sure we could drift around the turns more, but I don't want to end up in one of the ditches on either side of the road. Oh yeah, she's slick right here. Right now, we are just northwest of Auroraville, which is just west of Oshkosh. We're just east of Red Granite. Here's a quick look of where we are and a look at what radar is looking like at the moment. Because of the conditions of the road, we did fall just slightly behind the heaviest snow, but sometimes it's not when the heaviest snow is falling that's the issue, it's the aftermath just after, so. We'll definitely be going over to Oshkosh and see how things are over there. And I honestly have no idea where we're going to end up as the night progresses. We could end up just about anywhere in the general northeast Wisconsin area. Could end up northwest of Green Bay. We could end up by Lake Michigan. Could end up back out at Stevens Point area. All depends on where the snow sets up. Mile-per-hour curve. County Road 49. So we'll be turning right on this street, and then this will take us back into Auroraville, where we will then go through the south side of it and then go back east towards Amro. Take us a little bit of time to get back to Amro because the road conditions are much worse now than when we were on the way there, so I should say than they were on the way here, not there. Back to Highway 21. Now, as long as everyone plays nice, should go fairly smoothly. Alright. Back eastbound, heading towards Amro on Highway 21. car up ahead. We meet it right on the corner. Everyone just manages this straightaway road fairly well, and there's no slide offs. Howdy, Bethany. How are you doing? Right now, we are just west of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And we'll be chasing who knows where in Wisconsin overnight. We'll just kind of go wherever the snow is going, but as of right now, we're heading towards Oshkosh. It's good to see that the YouTube algorithm is recommending me. That's always a good sign. It means progress is being made, I guess. Yes, what Plombo said, enjoy the warmth for us. I am not looking forward to this coming week. It's just going to be absolutely brutal temperatures again. Not quite as cold as the cold snap we had a couple weeks ago, but pretty dang close. little closer to Oshkosh, I'll tune into the scanner to see if there's anything interesting going on in the area. Wouldn't be surprised if there's some slide-offs or something like that, given how quickly and how intense the snow is coming down. And apparently that's the center of the road. I have no idea, but I heard the rumble strips, so I think that's a pretty good guess that that's the center of the road. Still the center of the road. Turn your high beams back on. I don't know. Another vehicle up ahead. I am happy to announce that they do have their lights on. If they didn't, I would probably pull up next to them and let them know, hey, turn your freaking lights on. One, it's dark, and two, it's snowing, so. Yep, a vehicle. So it looks like we will probably be slowing down to their pace because there's absolutely no way to safely pass them right now with visibility as low as it is. Good gracious. High beams much? I will say this, that I know this area pretty well, and this is one of the main roads going east and west in this area, and I have yet to see a single snowplow since I've been driving tonight. We can do a quick check of what radar is looking like again. still a fairly heavy band of snow. Almost right over Oshkosh. And then looks like there's more heavy snow forming just to the west of there. Okay, at this point I'm just gonna turn on the rear lights. Oh dang, I do that. Forgot to switch you guys back off the radar. There we go. Yeah, the flakes have shrank in size a little bit. Well, do we potentially have our first snowplow? I think we do. Most indeededly. Approaching Amro. Be there in just the next couple minutes. all these flashy lights are up here. She's a little slick out here. Here we go, actually the first one of the day on stream. Rare Wisconsin Quick Trip. I may or may not stop at a Quick Trip later this evening for some supper. Yes, KWIK. It's the Quick Trip. We'll have to see what supper might end up being, but approaching Oshkosh in probably the next 10 minutes or so. And we'll see how it's looking over there. And yep, here's another quick trip. Probably about a mile down the road. Second quick trip. Okay, maybe 15 to 20 minutes from Oshkosh if we're stuck behind these two vehicles again. Thanks for joining from St. Paul. There's someone else I know from around that area that they were watching the models very carefully to see if they would get snow or not, and if so, how much. Because let's just say they weren't satisfied with the snow that has been occurring in that area this season. They want more. I'm glad you could join us. Yep, that's the one, Graybeard. That's the one. Whenever like 707 or Plumbo says welcome aboard, it's always like, yeah, I mean that sounds like a pretty normal thing to say. And then when Graybeard says it, it's like I picture like welcome aboard my pirate ship or something like that because of the name. Alright, later Amar. Welcome aboard, me mateys, or something like that whenever you say that. They're probably going about 10 miles an hour. Say I'm not thrilled that the vehicle directly in front of us keeps having to go on his brakes. It's like, just back off that other car just a little bit, for goodness sakes. Doesn't matter if you're 5 feet behind him or 50 feet behind him. If you're going the exact same speed and can't pass, just hang back. Like, Madison Belt line. That's always an interesting drive. Looks like this road has been plowed now. Check something. No, we didn't just cross a county line or something. I was going to say, if we did, that would make a whole lot of sense why from there it was plowed, but before it wasn't. So, I don't know. Getting closer to. Oh, you guys, the signal came back just in time. That was almost an incident right there. Also, I have no idea why the signal decided to just drop out right in that area. But while you guys were away, let's just say that vehicle that was right in front of me, but behind that other vehicle, tried to pass because the other vehicle was staying in the left lane and not moving over to the right. So instead to try to pass on the right, and the other vehicle quick cut over to the right lane. So we all had to hit the brakes. Meanwhile, there was a semi coming up directly behind me, hoping he could slow down in time. It was like, oh, good gracious. Here we've got, I'm trying to think, I think we've got either 3 or 4 roundabouts in a row. So those are usually interesting here even without snow, so we'll see how that goes. Just doing a quick slick check. I like to do that every now and again when there's no vehicles directly behind me. Just hit the brakes a little harder than usual to get a better feel for how slick the roads actually are, so that you know how much braking space you may need. Roundabout number 1. continue towards more of the downtown Oshkosh. And as we do so, right over here, we're passing over the interstate. So I'll look down and see how those road conditions look. I mean, they definitely look snowy, but looks like they're a little more well maintained, as you would expect. And here's roundabout number 4. Sorry, I stopped counting them for a minute. Ooh, that was a little slick. Windshield wipers, so they may or may not be loud. Yep, they were loud. But I remembered to give a heads up this time. Checked radar in a quick minute, but look at how heavy those bands of snow off to the west are getting as well. This is definitely looking pretty good for some accumulating snow at a decent rate. I gotta turn the defrost on a little bit. A drawbridge, so hopefully I don't think this will be too slippery at the moment. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to try to stop on it, but this is a one-way street, which is good to know. was down this way on this street would have been end of May. Crossing the street, just in dark clothing. Looking at their phone, not paying attention. Sounds about right. At this point, I'm just trying to kind of decide which road I want to go on next. We're probably going to turn right. Ooh, I'll have to remember this. This might be a good place to come back to a little bit later for a photo. With the trees with the lights on them.
X alert.
Yes, the insurance place. could I possibly be referring to? Okay, good gracious, this person behind me doesn't know what the heck they're doing. Person who is now directly next to me. Thankfully, they are now turning. Oh boy, I gotta be careful now. There's someone behind me. Jimmy John's delivery. They want to go freaky fast. Jimmy John's in a very long time. Probably close to 10 years. Doesn't look like the snow is as impactful here as I was anticipating it might be. But night is still very young. I know there's supposed to be a couple of waves of snow. I'm not sure exactly on the timing of it because not sure National Weather Service is even 100% sure on when the next bands will set up, but yeah, that sounds about right. Good gracious, that was a bit of a rut. Did a little shimmy there. This is the street. Well, here we go. Let me make sure I wasn't going into someone's driveway. Yeah, we'll probably lose signal a couple times on this street. Looks like there's a lot of large trees that overhang the road. At least there were. I guess we'll see if it happens further up. And welcome, penguins. Now it opens up again. I guess we can probably go on I-41 for a little bit. See how that is. I know this area fairly well. Penguins, that is absolutely unacceptable. I know this area very well. So, well. Nina is probably getting a decent chunk of snow right now. What the road conditions are like at the moment, I'm not sure. We're probably going to be heading up that way, probably up towards Appleton, so we'll go through Nina and might just kind of play this area a little bit because most of these snow showers here are moving mostly in an eastward direction. So if we stay down here where we are right now, there's not a whole lot of snow off to the west that'll be coming for this location. Yeah, no problem. Before we hop on the interstate, there's a park and ride right up here. We'll pull into that and I'll just get out and brush the vehicle off to make sure that all the lights are visible before we hop on the highway so people can make sure that they see the vehicle. And yes, I don't know why I keep saying vehicle. It's something that I do every now and again. It's kind of a funny way to say it. And then it just kind of sticks for like the rest of the day. Well, Graybeard, you're going to be going to Nina today. Oh, okay, I guess we're going extremely slow. Yeah, you can't really see it on the camera right now, but on the left side of the road and the right side of the road, there's like a mile of field in either direction. So any wind that picks up would probably put some low visibility and potentially some snow drifting on the road. But it's not as big of an issue with the snow drifts at the moment because there's decent ditch on either side of the road that kind of helps barricade the snow in those areas for a little bit. Yep, we'll be getting on to I-41 heading north. Right after we pull into the park and ride, which is just up here on the left. And I'll brush off the vehicle. We're probably not going to go in the park and ride because the person in front of us just pulled in and I don't want them to think that, we're stalking them by pulling into a pretty much empty parking lot in the dark and the snow. It's just a courtesy thing. If someone followed me into a fairly empty parking lot in the middle of the snow in the dark, it would be a little uncomfortable, so we're gonna find a new place at the moment. here in Oshkosh right now. We are right next to the airfield, Whitman Field, where EAA takes place, the world's largest aviation event, I believe it is. Just ever so slightly the evidence of some snow drifts on this road. Oh, I bet I know what it is. Because this is a north-south road at the moment, and the wind's been kind of coming from the west, so that would be to our right. So when they're plowing the interstate, I bet that with how light and fluffy the snow is, it's kind of getting blown over onto this road when they plowed the interstate, which would make total sense. When you go south like this, that there's really not a good place to re-enter the interstate for a little bit, so here we are. We could just make a U-turn and go back where we just came and enter the highway, but at this point we're about halfway to the next on-ramp, so we'll just continue this way because then we don't have to take the same road we were just on. Get a little different view. Now I just gotta make sure that I don't mess up where we gotta go. Yep, so we continue straight here. make sure we navigate this turn correctly. Yeah, right now the snowflakes are definitely a lot smaller, kind of like they were when I started out this afternoon or this evening. Yes, the snow is indeed very sparkly. The camera is definitely not even doing it justice. Right now we are on the south side of Oshkosh, currently heading south to find an on-ramp to get onto I-41, and we're going to be heading north towards Neenah, Appleton area. And welcome. At the moment there's not a whole lot to see on the camera because it's not picking it up in the low light extremely well, but just a couple moments we'll have a better better view once we get back on the interstate with other vehicles around. Safe to say, I don't think I've ever been on this stretch of this road. I've gone past this stretch of road probably over 1,000 times because we are running parallel with the interstate right now, so and all this because we were going to go to the park and ride and brush the snow off the vehicle before entering the highway. And then the vehicle in front of us turned in. I didn't want to follow them, so all this big old detour for trying to be a nice person and not follow someone into the park and ride. It is a nice road. Sounds good. Thanks for joining, Tank. Only about a mile from where we will be entering the interstate. Maybe a little bit more than a mile, but pretty dang close. Thank you, Carol. Much appreciated. Now, just gotta make sure we navigate these snowy corners with about a 4-foot ditch on either side. I guess so much for brushing off the vehicle before you entered the interstate. So, well, here we go. Honestly, might just pull off at one of the next exit ramps and just brush it off, because I don't want to take any chances. Welcome, Bob. I know the Appleton area very well. Last time I was actually chasing a storm in this area. I mean, I've driven through this area tons of times on ways to and from a storm chase, but last time I was actually chasing a storm in this area, I think it was either just past it or it's just up here. There was a vehicle that had hydroplaned and was pretty far into that metal cable barrier in the median. It was raining pretty dang good at that point. But yeah, I pulled over just to make sure that they were okay, and they looked okay, and I was about to get out when a cop pulled up right behind me, and he was taking care of it, so we were good to go. But yeah, have going on up here? We have someone going the other direction, but they have just the four-ways on. No other lights. Everything looked to be okay, so. That was the day that I saw pretty dang good shelf cloud just south of Fond du Lac. I think that was like April or May. I know I talked about it in my Storm Chasing You interview that I did. What was that? Very end of December. So if you want to see pictures of that, you can go check out that video. And it's either had to have been like April or May or something around there. But yeah, when we get to the next, the first exit ramp, we're gonna just pull off and brush off the vehicle. Yeah, there's a couple of interesting billboards around here. Brakes, because I don't know what this guy's gonna do. I don't know where he thinks he's going. Exit is in 1 mile, but that shows just how few exits there are in this area. Since we got on the highway, there hasn't been a single exit ramp. this exit ramp has a crash investigation site. So it's a perfect little place that we can just pull off and brush off the vehicle real quick. So I will be right back in just a couple of moments. Oh, I forgot. I actually have a button I can push for that. There we go. Alright, I am back. And I am very glad that I went out and brushed off the vehicle. Now we're ready to get back on the road. Yeah, the main thing is I just wanted to make sure all of my lights were visible in case I had to pull off to the side of the road or something. I wanted to make sure that people would be able to see my blinky lights. Menasha, Appleton, Grand Chute, that area. People don't clear their roof, that drives me absolutely insane. Like, you don't have to get all the snow off of it, just don't have like 3 inches of snow on your roof or whatever. Here we'll be driving past EAA again. Don't know how well the camera might pick it up, but might see the plane illuminated on its pedestal there. Doesn't look to be super well lit up, but you might be able to see it. I think I'm going to have to try to get around these people because the person behind me is refusing to pass and they're just riding my bumper. So, anywho. I would like to do this before we go over the Butamore Bridge. Hello, Devin. Welcome. Currently in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, heading north towards the heavier areas of snow. snow flying behind it. Yes, towards the frozen tundra. Green Bay, the one and only. Oshkosh does have a ton of roundabouts. It's absolutely crazy. It's like every exit ramp has a roundabout. So then at each exit there's one for the on-ramp northbound, on-ramp southbound, and there's usually one more at each exit. Don't know how many of you are familiar with diverging diamonds, but they seem to be liking those more in northeast Wisconsin now too. If you don't know what they are, it's basically you become British and drive on the wrong side of the road for about an eighth of a mile. But yeah, they say that it helps reduce crashes and all that stuff. But at the same time, people don't know how they work. And especially like the more elderly people that are driving, like it's difficult for them to figure out because they've never seen a diverging diamond before. Like, for their entire lives, it's been make sure you drive on the right side of the road, and then all of a sudden they're installing things where you drive on the left side, and it's like, oh boy. Yes, you do, Plumbo. So if you're not familiar with what a diverging diamond is, you can look it up and see what I'm talking about. I mean, honestly, I could probably just take you through one. There's one not far from here. And we can either take I-41 or we can take 441, which is kind of just another way around Appleton. And they both meet up on the north side to go towards Green Bay. I guess before I say that, I'll take a quick look at radar and see. mean, yeah, we can make that detour. And now that I've verified with radar that this would be a viable option, I'm going to put it up to a vote if you guys want to see diverging diamond or not. It really doesn't matter to me, so I'll let you guys decide. Going from snow chase into snow chase / DOT traffic pattern demonstration. So it will probably be about 15 minutes from there, but it's right along the way we would have to go anyway, so. We're not going to go flank speed. Sorry, Flambeau. Nuts. Welcome to everyone who is joining us. Glad that you could be here this evening. Right now we're heading north, and there's some waves, I'll call them, waves of heavier snow back off to the west that are moving eastward, so those will kind of go over us once we get a little further north. snow bands form and where we got to go to get them. So, but for right now, we have a short-term game plan, so that's always good. And the non-interstate roads should be in worse condition than this, but we're just taking the interstate so that we can get up here at a quicker pace, and then we'll hit some of the secondary roads. Appleton's a pretty good sized city. I think it's like 78,000 people or so. Yep, and right here is a quick trip that, for whatever reason, is always like 15 cents a gallon more expensive for gas for no apparent reason other than just where it's located. All the other quick trips everywhere else will all be about 15 cents a gallon cheaper than that one is. To be different, but that's definitely not the way to do it if you want business. But I mean, that location has survived and hasn't gone down or anything. It's been there for years, so I mean, it's got to be working. I think it's probably just where it's located and sheer volume of people that go past there. It's just when they need gas, they'll just stop there. I mean, it works. You know, people are going to pay the extra 15 cents a gallon. here's where we will exit onto Highway 441. And we've got a Congo line of snowplows. Continuing on I-41, so not the direction we're going, which is kind of nice. This is 441. Going over Little Lake Butamore at the moment. Again, we are at a point where apparently there are no lanes. Just kind of, oh, I don't like that. don't got much to compare them to because I've only had one other set of tires before, and the other ones were not so great. But overall, I'd say these were pretty dang good. I'll give them a 8.5 to 9 out of 10. So we'll exit here so that we're not exiting into the diverging diamond, so that we can get the full experience. I'd probably give them, after thinking a little more, I'd probably give them like a 8.5. I wouldn't go as high as a 9, but I'd give them a solid 8 to 8.5.
Okay, alert.
And yes, another rare quick trip sighting. Well, we kind of just unintentionally drifted around that corner. think it's this street. Oh, we're not going to make that. So here we go. Here's a diverging diamond for you. Go this way. Then you cross over and you become British or Australian or whatever. And then and then you come back on this side. Yeah, I know the signal cut out for a bit there because we went under the bridge. But to answer your question, I chase in multiple states, but I do that for severe weather. For snow, I mainly just stay in Wisconsin because it's not really worth it to drive, 12 hours to go chase snow when I can just wait until there's snow locally. So for snow and winter stuff, I just stay Wisconsin local. But then for severe weather, I go other states. Except for if it's like a really long distance, I don't do it. Like I'm not chasing the Dixie Alley tomorrow and whatnot. Because just from Wisconsin to, Louisiana is a really freaking long drive. I think it's like 18, 19 hours or something like that. I don't know if that was a flapjack place. I wasn't paying attention. Wouldn't be surprised if it was. Up ahead. Forget that this turns into a turn-only lane. This is downtown Appleton for you. Sorry, Plumbo, I don't know where the apples are. Just a couple minutes, we'll have to decide where we're gonna head next. Yes, the apples are definitely at Quick Trip. That's a good answer. Very Wisconsin answer. I mean, we could drive past an apple orchard. I know where one is, but that might actually not be a bad route to take. Kind of gets us on some of the back roads. Technically, the apple orchard is not within. Technically, the apple orchard is not within the city of Appleton limits. So, take that as you will. Well, okay, Plumbo. First, I'm going to take a quick look at radar and see. What's the general motion of this? You know, east-northeast mostly. So you know what? Oh, turn your lights on, buddy. in time. But honestly, going over towards that apple orchard probably isn't a bad idea. To get there, we will turn here. I think you're going in that general direction. I can't see around this car. Everything always seemed to end with bacon. Like conversations or memes or whatever with you guys always seem to end in bacon. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with bacon, but it always just seems to always end up circling back around to bacon somehow. You just sometimes have to have fun and just, go drive through a diverging diamond or go see an apple orchard in the middle of a snow chase because, well, why not? Because you can. It's not like there's not going to be snow 15 minutes that direction. So, why not? Make it enjoyable. Enjoyable and memorable. Now I just gotta see if I remember exactly where the apple orchard is. about 10 minutes from there. Maybe 15. Oh, isn't that the worst? When you're like just about to plug in your computer and it dies. Absolute worst feeling. Maybe not the worst, but it's up there. For whatever reason, the camera is picking up the snow directly in front of the vehicle as blue. Kind of cool, I guess. I mean, even in person, I guess it does look kind of blue, so I guess the camera's doing a good job. It must be just something weird about the way it's going off the lens.
Okay, alert.
Yeah, in person, the snow is blue. I don't know if it's something with the street lights or just the way it's reflecting, but it's really weird. Wipers are freezing up again. One thing that you gotta watch out for, especially in this area, is deer. That encounter 2 days ago was close enough for me, so. West of mainly Plumbo, we are going to find an apple orchard. Exactly. That's where it came from. He was asking where the apples were in Appleton, so we're going to find them. It's at this stop sign that we turn. If not, well, we'll figure it out. Just pulled it up on Google Maps. I was about one street over.
Continue on County Road 8 for 2 miles.
Turned at the first stop sign when I should have turned at the second. Wow, we've been live for 3 hours already. It feels like way less, and it feels like a lot longer at the same time. Nice, Palumbo. I got that reference.
Take the next one, County Highway South.
Indeed, Palumbo did do a funny. One second. Gotta take off this coat. Burning up in here again. Should have learned my lesson from last time. Wear fewer layers. Alright.
Continue on County Highway South for 2 miles.
Alright, we are 2 miles away. Apple Creek Orchard. I don't want to pull into their driveway at 10 o'clock at night. I'll probably have to make a U-turn so you guys can actually see the signs that you believe me. I'm trying to wait for this vehicle from the left to make its way over so I don't have to stop in front of them. But my goodness, they must be going at like snail speed. I thought they would have been here 2 minutes ago. Joking, of course, but... we might not be able to stop because there's a whole line of cars coming up behind us, but try to make sure you guys can at least see the sign so that I keep good on my word. There's the sign. I don't know if you were able to read it. It was blocked by trees until we were like right next to it. Probably couldn't read it. Dang it, 707, I thought I could trick you. But you called my bluff or something. I don't know, I don't play cards, so I'm assuming that's how you use that term. Even though the snow looks pretty good on radar, it's really not coming down that heavy right now. and road conditions are slippery, but they don't seem awful. Yeah. Nothing compared to what it looked like earlier, that's for sure. Yeah, I can see it. The camera just isn't picking it up very well. But there's flakes, but they don't seem to be, well, obviously they're not big flakes, because you can see that. But it's also not coming down at as quick of a rate as I would have expected. Actually just picked up a little bit in like the past minute since I said something, but not a ton. I don't know. Really don't know what to expect. honestly kind of pitiful at the moment. We might be getting ready to wrap up the stream pretty soon. Not a whole lot going on right now. I mean, there's some light flakes of snow, but that's about it. The timing of the next wave that'll come through is still kind of up in the air. Could happen in an hour, could happen in 3 hours. At the moment, there's really nothing that's saying, hey, it looks interesting on radar. You can take a look. I pulled up the radar out of La Crosse to see if there's anything off further to the west, and there really isn't. There's some light snow, little bit of a patch of heavier-ish snow south of Wisconsin Dells, but given the trajectory of that, it's really kind of not favorable. I'll probably keep the stream live for another 20 minutes or so just to see if anything interesting happens, but other than that, I'll probably wrap it up after that. Pending anything interesting happening.
Okay, alert.
And that'll also give me a chance after I finish up the stream to go find something to eat and then probably get some sleep. would be a different story if the snow was a little bit more slick, but it's just so dry and powdery. I mean, there's some slippery factor to it, but if it was even if it was had slightly more moisture in it, it would be a lot slipperier. So the only real issue is if you try to accelerate too quickly, the wheels will just spin, but braking is pretty good with the road conditions currently. Right now we are on the north side of Appleton, Wisconsin. We are the blue dot. Have a route planned out for where we're going to just drive for a couple minutes, see if anything interesting happens, and if not, I'll start winding down the stream. The winter weather advisories are roughly for anywhere between 2 and 7 inches of snow, depending on where in the state you're in the advisory area for. But that's between like 4 p.m. this afternoon, and I think they extended some areas to like 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So even if you get 7 inches of snow, it's over a 24-hour-ish period for the most part. So it's not a huge deal for travel issues. I mean, you still got to be careful on the roads, but it's not the same as getting 7 inches of snow in 5 hours or whatever. Even the roads that aren't plowed right now only have like probably an inch of snow on them. Only if it's a kern field. did have quite a bit of fun today. It was interesting right at the start of the stream when we got that super heavy band of snow. I kind of expected that would continue. I was hoping that would continue eastward, but it kind of fizzled out as it moved east. That would have been interesting to follow along in for, a while. But yeah, with that band of snow, the visibility went way down really quick, and it was probably about an inch per hour of snowfall. But yeah, right now there's probably only a coating, maybe a half inch of snow in this area. Really fantastic if this dude would get off my bumper. I can't go anywhere. There's a vehicle in front of me. Welcome to Little Chute, Wisconsin. There's an awesome, cool old windmill that's on the left side there. I'm just turning so that I can get this guy off of my bumper. As soon as I do that, he puts on his blinker to turn right. My goodness. I don't know. I think it might be worth giving it a shot there, Graybeard. You might be surprised. Or probably not, because, it would just not work. But you never know. So, Plumbo, right over here next to Dollar Tree is a Little Caesars. Just remember that Little Caesars. I have a story about that later, but I can't share it on stream. Yeah, southwest Wisconsin has kind of gotten left out of the snow a lot this year. Thanks, Plombo. And of course, the one time I muted it, the windshield wipers were actually silent. It's like, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna start winding down the stream, I think, because there's no use driving around in half-inch of snow for 3 hours until more snow could fall. So, guess I'll start winding it down. So, thanks to everyone for joining us today. It was pretty fun. Wasn't expecting a whole lot, but was pleasantly surprised by that band of snow over by Red Granite when we were there. Definitely make sure to stay up to date on latest notifications for but upcoming streams whenever those might be. Looks like a pretty quiet weather period locally, so probably not going to be another stream for, I'd say, probably at least a week, because there's going to be nothing going on here but frigid temperatures, so that's not very fun. Thanks for joining, everyone. There's various links that have been posted throughout the chat this evening, such as link to the Discord if you wanted to join. Well, way to put it out there, 707. Wow. Yep, so take care, everyone, and see you at the next stream.